Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about Venus unaspected in a natal horoscope. Now, as most of you know, an unaspected planet, often we look at it as isolation. There's no integration with another planet, and there's no obstruction from any planets that would make a negative aspect to it. Now, there's part of that would be good. You don't have any negative energy associated with the planet because you don't have a negative or adverse aspect. However, the fact that there's no aspects period, you don't have sextiles and trines, and therefore the planet has no integration. So Venus is unaspected. This could indicate where the person may feel like maybe they're the one that's showing all these feelings and showing love, being amorous, and they might not feel that they're getting it back in as far as reciprocation goes from a romantic partner, for example, because there is that feeling of isolation, perhaps in terms of maybe this person feeling that they're the one that's the only one that's expressing feelings, perhaps, or that they're expressing it very strongly, and they don't feel like they're getting quite enough from the other person. This could be something too, where Venus is not just over things connected with love and romance. It's also money, and somebody that has Venus unaspected could become, perhaps in some worst case scenario, overindulgent, perhaps in terms of material items. It could the person might be somewhat complacent. It may even become lackadaisical, and perhaps expects maybe things of a monetary nature to come very easily right into the person's lap, and obviously it doesn't work that way. It could also be a person that may be very strongly enamored, perhaps with things that are of a sensual nature. They might feel that when they're perhaps in a romantic situation, maybe they have difficulty in grasping maybe the idea of love, and they might even be somewhat perplexed as to whether they are expressing love on maybe to some degree. Perhaps the person that has this might have some vacillation, distortion to some degree as far as the expressions of feelings and expressions of love. There might not be a consistent flow to this, and as far as unaspected planets go, a lot of times I believe you lack that consistent flow that's of energy that is associated with that particular planet, and consequently, in this particular case, like with Venus unaspected, this person might be capable of showing an exorbitant amount of love to a person in spurts, but not necessarily consistently. And they might they feel maybe that they're showing all this love and this feelings and of compassion or what have you, and then all of a sudden it could just drop as quickly as it started, and it could leave prospective romantic partners or romantic partners somewhat perplexed and dumbfounded. And a lot of this, the fact that Venus, if somebody does have Venus unaspected in their natal chart, being isolated, it can kind of stand out, and as far as the natal chart goes now, or at least to some degree, it might stand out more so than the average placement. Now, let's take some examples. Now, let's say somebody were to have Venus in Gemini, and it would be unaspected. Now, Venus in Gemini can perhaps maybe somewhat mercurial as far as love goes. Maybe they might get bored and restless. They might require a lot of mental stimulation as far as from a romantic partner may go. And this person may get, and also it could be the person might have a love for mental stimulation. Now, if somebody has this placement and it's unaspected, now maybe it's possible maybe they're dominated by their love of things of a mental nature, and really, and this could be something where they might become very engrossed in and very fixated on, to the point where maybe they become oblivious to a lot of other things. Now, I'll take another example. Let's say that somebody were to have Venus and Leo in the 4th house. Now, Venus and Leo may be somebody that may like to perhaps entertain. Fun. Venus can be things that we do love, and there might be a love of perhaps entertaining, things connected with notoriety, exposure. It could be something with, I would say, perhaps even movies, because that's associated with drama, and I believe that would be connected with the sign Leo. And somebody with, if they had it in the 4th house and it was unaspected, this could be somebody that might become very engrossed, perhaps, in that love for entertainment, perhaps in the home, whether they may be doing it themselves, or things that are, I guess you could say, entertainment as far as even things on television, for example, or things that they're seeing online. Even Leo, I believe, can be associated with, as far as maybe a hobby goes, perhaps painting and art in general. And this person might have such a love and be so enamored with this that they might forget about a lot of other things that are perhaps important, or the significance in their life, due to the fact that Venus would be unaspected. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Venus unaspected in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about Mars unaspected in a natal chart. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.